Hey everyone. Welcome back to Money Tailors, your one-stop shop for mastering your finances. Today's video is for all my Gen Z viewers who want to build wealth early in life. That's right, we're diving into building wealth in your 20s. Financial tips for Gen Z now. I know we're all about living in the moment, but let me tell you, the steps you take now will absolutely shape your financial future. And stick around, because toward the end of this video, I'm going to share one power move you can make in your 20s that could set you up for long-term financial success. And no, it's not what you think. Before we jump in, make sure to hit that like button if you're serious about taking control of your money. And of course, subscribe if you haven't already. We're building a community of money-smart Gen Zers here, and I want you to be part of it. Alright, let's get into it. The mindset shift. Start thinking long-term. First off, I want to talk about a mindset shift that's super important. As Gen Z, we're known for valuing experiences and spending on things that matter to us. Whether it's travel, sustainability, or supporting brands with a social conscience, we care about where our money goes. But here's the thing, it's all about balance. Enjoying life now and setting yourself up for the future. You don't have to give up that concert ticket or cool new tech, but by making smarter choices with your money, you'll be able to afford more of those things later. One key stat. Did you know that Gen Z is already growing their wealth faster than previous generations? According to recent reports, wealth among adults under 40 has grown by 80% since 2019, so you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from a strong foundation. Tip number 1. Get into investing. Start small. Start now. One of the smartest things you can do in your 20s is to start investing. I know, it sounds intimidating, but you don't need a ton of money to get started. Thanks to platforms like Robinhood or Acorns, micro-investing is a thing, and you can start with as little as $5. The goal is to let compound interest work its magic. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. Now, I'm not just talking about stocks. Think about diversifying. Have you considered investing in real estate? There are now platforms where you can invest in real estate projects with small amounts of money, and I'll be diving into that later, so stay tuned. And don't forget about ESG, environmental, social, governance, investments, a huge focus for our generation. We care about where our money goes, and investing in companies that align with your values can be both fulfilling and profitable. Tip number 2. Budget, but make it fun. Enter loud budgeting. Okay, so let's talk about budgeting. I know, it's not exactly the most exciting thing in the world, but here's a twist. Gen Z is putting a new spin on it with something called loud budgeting. This is all about being vocal and transparent about your financial goals. Share your goals with friends, family, or even on social media. It holds you accountable and normalizes talking about money. Want to save for that backpacking trip through Europe? Or maybe you're planning to move to a bigger city? Start by openly tracking your progress, and don't be shy about celebrating small wins. The idea here is to make budgeting less of a chore and more of a community thing. Plus, the more you talk about it, the more you'll stick to it. Tip number 3. Beware of doom spending, and how to avoid it. Here's something a lot of us are guilty of: doom spending. You know what I'm talking about. That impulsive spending when you feel anxious about the future or overwhelmed by what's happening in the world. Sound familiar? With everything going on, from inflation to job market uncertainty, it's easy to fall into this trap. But here's a trick. Instead of doom spending, redirect that energy into something productive like learning new financial skills or upskilling for your career. You'd be amazed at how much you can accomplish with a little self-control and some long-term thinking. Also, consider giving yourself a fun fund. This is a small part of your budget where you can spend guilt-free. That way, you still get to indulge, but within limits that protect your financial future. Tip number 4. Emergency funds. Your financial safety net. This one is huge. You need an emergency fund. Ideally, you want to have 3-6 months of living expenses saved up in case something unexpected happens, like losing your job or needing urgent medical care. I get it, saving that much can seem overwhelming, especially if you're just starting out. So here's a tip. Start with small goals. Try to save your first $500, then your first $1,000, and build from there. And here's the kicker. Having an emergency fund doesn't just protect you. It also gives you peace of mind. You won't feel as stressed or tempted to take on debt when unexpected costs pop up. Final tip. The power move that could set you up for life. All right, you stuck around, and now it's time for the power move I mentioned earlier. Want to know one of the smartest ways to build wealth in your 20s? It's investing in yourself. That's right, the most valuable asset you have is you. Whether it's learning a high-demand skill, getting certifications, or even starting a side hustle, investing in your personal growth will have the biggest return on investment. Think about it. The job market is changing fast, and automation is becoming more common. Future-proofing your career by continuously upgrading your skills can set you apart and boost your earning potential. So whether it's coding, digital marketing, or learning a new language, the time and money you invest in yourself now will pay off massively in the long run. And that's it. Those are my top tips for building wealth in your 20s. I know it can feel like there's a lot of pressure, but remember, small steps now can lead to big results later. Before you go, do me a favor. If you found any of these tips helpful, hit that like button, and if you want more practical advice on managing your money, be sure to subscribe. And of course, drop a comment below if you've got any questions or tips of your own. I'd love to hear what you're doing to build your wealth. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay savvy, stay smart, and let's build that wealth together.